Yeah, sorry about that. I had forgot to enable it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I haven't enabled the tea because I don't have any tea on me, so just regular hydration. I really don't like it when my hand just goes into drift mode. Tracking. One of these days, the whole issue with like trackers being a non-issue will be a welcome addition. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, Shy. Good morning, TNT English. Neuter and Coleman. Also English. I'm hoping to maybe um make a start on GTA 4 maybe on a Sunday evening. I think that's probably the earliest date we're gonna get to get that stream in. As for replaced, I've kind of moved that stream around because it's another big story, you know, game, but we don't really need on the roster just yet. I mean, I still plan to play some of it next week, but there are other games I do want to, continue, like Signalis that we're going to do tonight, and then obviously Metro. It's the old fish world. It is, yeah, with some additions here and there. How are my plans doing? Seems like they're all ready. In all my time playing this game, I'm like, what am I now? Level 100. And I finally got my very first fishing rod skin, which was the bamboo. So in all my time trying this fishing rod, this is my first one. Still haven't got all the trash fish though. Actually, how much petals have I got left? Gosh, I forget how expensive everything is. Also, can I just say the Wordles that I've been having recently have been really difficult to get. Oh yeah, TNG. Somebody's actually made a racetrack to Spa. Got to try it out yesterday. Hello, and what do you get if you mix plutonium with a fishing rod? Nuclear fission. You know, if I ever run out of, jokes, I know I can just come to you just to find a roster of dad jokes that I do not need in my life. Mako wako. Wap wap. Yeah, I will also honor Natalie's redeem, but only when Natalie is around, because I don't want to, wear the redeem if they're not there for it, because, I did promise I would wear more of the outfit, but I only do it once Natalie shows up, because, after all, it is their redeem. But yeah, sorry if I sound a bit off. I did have a bit of a cold last night, so I'm still feeling a little bit, yeah, a bit rough. Also, it's a little bit humid today. It's like 13 degrees currently. Yeah, I want to give this world another go. I don't know about you, but have you guys ever had that feeling where there's like this pain in your bones or something, or this aching feeling, and it just really starts, annoying you. There's not really much you can do about it. I don't know if it's been a while. I don't know if they've actually had this livery before or if it's an actual livery, but I kind of like this one. But I remember when I made my own racing team in a video game called Grid, I kind of went with a white and red livery as well. But the funny thing is, my racing team back then was because, granted, I was still young, and because of the skin, I called it was a white livery with red arrows going along the side, and the team name I gave it was called White Strikers. But looking back on it, back then I changed it because when I looked back at the team, it sounded fine all the time, but when I looked back on it, I thought, kind of sounds racist, doesn't it? So I just called it Strikers instead. And then I changed it to a very boring grey livery. There we go. Could be my team's law. Like they had to change there's their livery and their because it was just too. Hi, Lo. At least it's not cow jokes. We don't want need a spa and a massage. Well, we are a spa. It's probably not the spa you want, but hey, okay. Put you guys up there. It's a bit heavier, this one. So the steering is like really, really heavy. So you have to really turn it. God damn it. Ah, damn. I'm really not used to driving it in manual. I'm not really good at driving it in manual, if I'm going to be honest. I do try, but it just doesn't work. You can also sit on the sides as well. So if you ever get stranded on the track, you can just basically hop a ride on another's car. So there's like 2 seats on either side. So that's quite a nice feature. So if you ever need a Uber driver. But yeah, I do like this livery. Right, that's a little bit better. I just I just prefer this a lot more so I can just focus on driving. Damn it, came too fast. Fucking damn it. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to make that turn. Um, there's also a safety car as well, which is a nice addition. So, yeah, we get a we get a safety car on the track, so that's quite a nice detail. We get to go in some of the stands as well. This one's quite a good spot. This one's, I mean, granted, there's literally no trees on this version of Spa, like barely any forest, so you get a really good view of the track, a lot more than you would in, real life. So probably one of the better spots I'm gonna try Alonso's Renault. I'm gonna go for some of the old classics. Gosh, I still remember these old tires as well. Why does this thing have an indicator? I mean, it's quite striking how far the cars have actually come since then. I mean, this version certainly got a lot larger. The only thing I will definitely appreciate more is definitely the inclusion of the halo. That was a very good decision on their part. Fix my strap. There we go. I know there was a baseball map that came out recently, but there's also a basketball that came out, but there's also a baseball one as well. So I'm kind of curious what that's all about. Oh my gosh, why is it so humid today? I need to get ready for summer. Oh, damn. There's already quite a lot to this one already. I mean, to be fair, baseball is very popular in Japan. My gosh. They've already got their own shop, so you can purchase your own gloves, skins, and bats as well. I think the bat might be a bit too stubby for me, but let's see if I can even, hit the damn thing. I mean, probably might not even be automatic. Oh my gosh, holy moly. Look at these settings. There, there is so much. I mean, there's this, scoreboard and everything. Look at these controls. There's so much to this. Can I even grab the bat? No. I guess that's to stop people from grabbing it, I guess. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, there's settings for the blue team and then the red team. They even got radios. Wait, what about that one? Oh, this is like speed. But I've noticed. Oh, okay. Oh no, it's probably the actual size. I thought it was like going all the way out there, but no, it's going over here. Not bad, nicely optimized. I'm sure it works quite well. But I did have to go check it out for myself. Bum, bum, bum. I was thinking of something, but I kind of forgot what I was thinking about. Streetwalker. Oh no. I wonder what this one's about. This sounds like a treadmill world. Hi there. Apparently I'm a wonder. Oh. Hmm. Oh, it's one of. Oh, this is like a very bad version of like Google Maps. So, you know when you look at Google Maps, you can just plump yourself on a location and then just turn around and everything. This is it in VR chat, but it feels a lot slower. Like say what you will about, Google Maps when they're going through your, locations, and sometimes they go a lot further than you would like. Hydrate, you got it. That's actually a very good idea. I think I will hydrate. Where's my water? Alright, you ready for the fizz? Don't know if that went through or not. Yes, don't worry, I am playing VR chat, I'm not playing Google Earth. Oh yeah, that definitely hit the spot. Thank you very much. But yeah, I really do need to get a move on with GTA because, I don't know how long the story is compared to GTA 5's story. Because then, we'll have the next Marble Grand Prix for the next redeem for in May. Mm, a little disappointed by this. I'm surprised there's like over 128 people in here. I will say it is nice having a variety in VR chat. I mean, we certainly got a lot more than we did now, but it's also a lot more difficult to find uh, good ones as well. It also doesn't help. There's a lot of AI happening as well. Okay, let's go to this one. Let's see if anybody recognizes this one. So this is Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. apparently. Because if we had the actual Elder Scrolls game, that would probably be the biggest map in VR chat history. Why does the thumbnail always look nicer? Because it looked fine at first, but then when you get there, it's just like sometimes there's a lot of stuff that just hurts your eyes, or get rid of the fireworks. It's not November yet. Can't have fireworks just yet. JPEGs are easier and prettier up than a world. Princess Foss, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Actually, you've given me an idea. Okay. Didn't expect that. So like an underwater path. Oh, it's a light change system. I don't like the water, I really don't, especially underwater. Apparently there was a light change, I don't know how much that did change anything, really. But yeah, you've given me an idea, I wonder if it's still up. That's always the problem whenever you want to visit old worlds, but you're never sure if it's still available. Good morning, Darren. How are you doing? I don't think I've actually been to this world personally. Mm. So let's see. Mm, there we go. Now where's the button? It should be over here. Don't respawn, it won't freaking work. There was. Oh wait, is this it? Oh, what the hell just happened? Oh wait. Is it broken? Because every time I go in there, it spits me out. There we go. Yeah, there we go. There's your JPEG streamer. Because I couldn't afford anything else. Paper Mario. Yeah, I actually never played Paper Mario personally. It's weird to think how actually old Paper Mario actually is. I'm okay. My gut is acting up. I'm sorry. Hope you feel better soon. It's like an acid reflux. Oh, that sounds really painful. But yeah, send you some hearts. Hope you feel a bit better soon. Mm. Mm. Oh, I remember this one. So if any of you really have a fear for water, you're very welcome, Dan. This world might, trigger some fears. So yeah, bit of rough waters right now. But then again, why would you ever want to come out in rough seas like this? It's quite nice, but if you're very prone to motion sickness, this would not be for you. It's one of the very few worlds, even looking from this direction as well, like just looking how the waves just move the ship up and down. And yes, I think you can fall off the ship. I feel like we're in Scotland or something. I've actually done some sailing before. I've actually sailed through a storm, which I will say it was not fun. I mean, we almost had a fellow what's the word I'm looking for? Associate almost flip our ship over because she when you steer a ship, you know, the reaction is not immediate, so you can't just steer a ship, you know, like a car and expect an immediate response. You have to steer well in advance and, you know, plan ahead. And she nearly flipped us over twice. So I was like, don't let her, don't let her take the wheel ever again, because that was not fun. Because if it wasn't for that that fin on the very bottom of the ship, then yeah, we definitely would have been flipped over. Mm. Haha, not gonna work here. I'm in the ocean. You can't get me out here. Were you scared of deep water before or after the event? Oh, I was still scared of it, but even well before, because the first time I actually had a real fear of the water was, I think we were in Portugal, and I was sitting on a rubber ring with my sibling, and my eldest sibling decided to ambush us from below the water. So we got tossed over down into the water. I mean, the coral and, you know, the colors, they were beautiful, but I was kind of drowning. So my father basically picked me out from the water. So that's where my real, you know, that's where my start of, you know, the fear of the ocean started to come into play. Hmm. Fantasy vehicle world. No, that looks too. That always looks too much. Let's see if we can find something from the past. Let's see. Let's see if I can find. I mean, I did look up some worlds from 2017 and 18, but I'm kind of curious to see what 2019 has to offer. See if there's any worlds I recognize. Actually, no. Let's try 2020 because that's when I started really started VR chat. Hi TND. You missed me doing some spa earlier. You know, I will say I'm actually glad I'm not motion sick in VR. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things, which would very much suck. I sometimes forget just how far VR chat has actually come when it comes to world creation as well. Yeah, that was the one I was racing on. hmm it's not bad. It's not too bad. It's just like doing like tight steering is a little bit difficult because when you turn, it's just like it takes forever to like have that turn actually happen. Hmm. If you could own a fictional car, what do you think you'd pick? Um, hmm. How fictional are we talking here? Are we talking like built from scratch or, a vehicle that was featured in a movie? Like let's say if it was like a real car that was used. So when you think about it, when it comes to like fictional cars, a lot of the time, a lot of them are featured in sci-fi. Um, Basically, yeah, I'd say yeah, flat out. There's no trees though. Either those supernatural effects don't cross over, no time traveling DeLorean, but Batmobile would could keep its gadgets. I'm gonna cheat and just search up fictional cars and then just choose from there because I can't really think on the top of my head. Let's see, fictional cars. Okay, let's have a look. Um, mm, if I had to go for mm, if I had to go for a cool car, it would probably be Knight Rider. Like that thing was just so badass looking. No, so that was Kit or something, right? Exactly. Yeah. Let me see if I can drag it over. Let me just go... Let me just go get it. Hopefully I don't fall into water. So yeah, essentially that. Because for those who don't know, Spa is located in Belgium. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's this. If I had to go for a fictional car on the top of my head, this will probably be it, really. Gosh, even a theme to that, you know, to that show is still iconic to this day. I mean, I think there were rumors of it coming back or something, but I don't know if it was going to come back as a movie or not. But if I'm going to be honest, I really don't want it to come back because just having all these, you know, just redoing everything that we've already had before is just, you know, painful because they have no respect for the original source material. And it's a famous soundtrack. It's like when you got you know, Airwolf or the A Team. Like the 80s had some really iconic shows that, you know, I still like to watch every now and again. But yeah, if I had to pick any car, it would probably be this one. Gosh, now I just want to look back at some old shows again. I'm gonna be honest. Let's find a world with a bit more stability because I also have to remember, see, even if I don't have motion sickness, some people can get motion sickness as well, just from seeing somebody just stand on, you know, on water. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Hmm. The golden era of Top Gear. Hmm. I don't know if I could stop myself from picking Brum. Brum? Let's go over here. You didn't watch Brum's Kids? Let me see it. I probably don't recognize it by name, but I probably recognize it by visual. From TV show. Oh, that car. Yeah, I didn't watch. I remember seeing a few episodes when I was growing up, but I didn't really watch it all that much. But I am I am familiar with the character. Well, I'm all set for the summer now. Might be a bit too big for my head though.
Please give me huggy wuggies!
Alright, and give her huggles. No, no, shut up, other me. Wow. Gosh, I love it when my trackers don't work properly. How you doing, Axe? You doing okay? Echo. Yeah, echo, echo. I don't know if it started with like Spirited Away, but I've noticed that, you know, some Japanese worlds just have this fascination with water and train tracks. Also, I feel like there's a missed opportunity to have some proper lights in this world because I feel like it's a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit dim, if that makes sense. I'm good, don't forget to hydrate. I won't. Thank you very much for the hydration. I think it's to make the train to be more silent. I mean, I've been on trains in Japan through the city and the countryside. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of prefer the countryside a lot more because, you know, you get to see some really beautiful landscapes. And plus you can open the windows and, you know, just look out. I mean, the bullet train was still fun too, don't get me wrong. It was really, really impressive feat of engineering. I mean, it's so quiet as well. Mm. The sleep trains are quite common, it seems. The sleep trains are insane. Like the way they do things, like just how much you get from a, you know, whether it's a sleeping bus or a sleeping train. You get so much out of it. It's insane. What day is it today? It is the 17th. I do want to go back to Japan one day, just so I can see more. Definitely try some of their more of their food again as well, because I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience before where you go abroad and then whether it's friends or family, they essentially all want to go to something that they're familiar with back at home, like whether it's going to fast food establishment or just, eating a burger or going to, McDonald's. I mean, granted, yes, I know in certain countries, McDonald's can be a little bit different from what you're used to, but, if I'm going to travel abroad, I would prefer to try you know, the local cuisine. Because it drives me mad when people do that. Like, I remember when I went to Germany, on a school trip, I had, I think I had Schnitzel and Kartoffelsalat, and everybody else, all the other students, just went and had McDonald's. Hi, Harry. And I was just like, goodness sake. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Harry. And when I went to Japan, same deal. Like, we went to an Italian restaurant. Well, it wasn't run by Italians, but it was run by um Japanese staff. And I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't the greatest thing ever. Like even the imitation of like German cakes, it was just not very good. It's like they're certainly a lot better at doing their own thing, but when it comes to copying others, don't expect it to be the same because it is incredibly different. I'm stuck in Australia. Oh no. Some people are very adverse enjoying new things. Well, the problem is like I'm always like when it comes to eating foods, I'm always down for trying new things. Always. But some people are just like very hesitant and very picky. To be honest, a plate-sized schnitzel with a bowl full of French fries makes you full compared to McDonald's. Exactly. You get more for your money and you get a better experience as well. Especially with a koi bratwurst as well. Can I add you on VR chat? I'm sorry. I'm afraid we've only just met, so I'm afraid you can't. Sorry. Not how it works, I'm afraid. I need to update some stuff. Sorry, Harry, but I've had I've had too many requests and I have to separate uh work from everything else, so yeah, thank you for your understanding. But yeah, I always want to try like some new foods. I want to go back to Italy and try some more cuisine as well. Because when it comes to like Italian dishes, they've you know, they've had it like, I don't know what it is, like, whatever it's China, Italy, or Japan, you know, a lot of these, you know, they've had some really good food over the generations, and, you know, some of them have had it for hundreds of years, and I'm like, damn, these people have been eating better than everyone else. You sick of playing VR chat? Authentic Italian pasta hits different, extremely different, especially when it's fresh. Do you know where the snow wax tastes like? Hmm? No, you mean the Snorlax? No, I wouldn't know. I mean, why would anybody know what a Snorlax tastes like? Tastes like big, goodness sake. Like speaking of meats, I remember when I was on a trip in Belgium, and we had this large plate of fries and what looked like a steak, but they didn't really tell us what it was. Um, I think when we were eating it, um, we were only told afterwards that we were actually eating horse meat, which I was not sure how to take that, to be honest. Let's see, have you ever been to Australia? No, I have not. I almost went to New Zealand back in 2014, but then that was the original plan. I was going to go to New Zealand, but then a friend of mine reached out and said, "Hey, I'm going to Japan. Would you like to come with me?" So I said, "Yes, hell yeah." So I immediately took that opportunity, but no, I haven't been to Australia. I've got a few friends in Australia, but I've never been that far down. First holiday to Spain was a task. I haven't been to Spain yet. I've kind of avoided it because I've been to like Portugal, France, Italy, Austria, but I've just like kind of avoided Spain for some reason. First holiday to Spain was a task, my sister being newly vegan and trying to explain that in very broken Spanish to see if they had anything on the menu. I've seen that struggle before where a lot of people have asked, you know, for vegan menus and then, you know, they would get the weirdest looks from the waiters and everything. You need to come down here with some good food. Do you have any recommendations if I ever do go to Australia? Sweden was quite nice too. I haven't been to Sweden yet. Chicken palming. Hmm. I think I should definitely invest in some new straps, I think. These ones are becoming a bit undone. Um, if you like the cold, go in the off season. Winter, it's cheaper. If you like the warmth, then the summer might be more expensive. Oh yeah, massively. Summer is always very expensive. I have friends over in America. They told me their food is good, but I could never taste it. The thing is, like when I went to America, you never really went hungry ever over there. I didn't try a lot of things when I was in America, but yeah, we were never hungry. Like even the appetizers were like very filling. Like I remember when I was in South Carolina, we were waiting on our lunch, and it was taking a while, so they brought us American biscuits, and I think one or two of them nearly made us full before our actual meal came along. Why did I read that as Vegemite? Vegemite. Hi, Rice. Not fairy bread, no offense, but fairy bread does not look advertising. Fairy bread. It kind of looks like, I don't know, like just your average loaf of bread, just like when you haven't got the equivalent of a shortcake and you just put it on bread instead. That's what it looks like to me. It just looks like a substitute for like kind of like a sponge cake of sorts. It's chocolate sprinkles on buttered bread. Is that? For me, it's multicolored. Like it's like white chocolate. I mean, a lot of the suggestions I'm getting is white chocolate. Mhm. Good morning, Ray. Morning, 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 morning. Hope you're doing well. If you have moldy bread with sprinkles, trust me, don't try to taste it like. I remember having like it wasn't moldy bread, but it was like very stale bread. I basically uh basically grinded that all of that down and turned it into basically pancakes. So you can actually make pancakes through bread of all things, which is insane to me. So, and the thing that really stunned me is that it actually works. So if you don't have any flour in your cupboard, you can just use stale bread. I mean, I could say something that might make you puke because the combination, but the taste is good somehow. Go for it. I mean, it couldn't be worse than, kids, mixing, I don't know, crisps with their sandwiches or something. I hate for fairy bread, so much fairy bread does not taste nice. If whoever ever likes fucking Windows, it does not taste nice. It tastes horrible. Actually, I wonder if... Because I know there was no, I don't think it'll exist. Bit of bread, bit of butter, bit of crisps in the middle. Bread with Nutella and smoked salmon. Listen, Nutella is only good for two things, maybe three. Pancakes and putting it on toast. And maybe using it for cooking or something. I just eat it out of the jar. No, TNG, do not. Do you. I have too many people that eat Nutella out of the jar. When there's no chocolate in the fridge, there's always the emergency Nutella jar that, they just open, and they literally threaten me to open the Nutella jar if they don't have any chocolate in the fridge. So I said, do not eat the Nutella. I will go out and buy you chocolate. Just don't eat it with a spoon, you know? Um, because, by the time I'm making pancakes or something and there's barely any Nutella in the jar, it's like really upsetting eating it out of a jar and full by spoon. Like, how could you eat just plain Nutella on your own, on its own? It's too much. It's too rich. We've got toast, called crumpets. Crumpets are like waffles, but small. Haven't had a crumpet in ages, and I'm gonna be honest, I kind of don't like crumpets anymore because they're just too spongy. Why use a spoon? Use a butter knife. Oh my gosh, this is savage. I've actually never had peanut butter. I don't even know if I would even like peanut butter. Pancake do sound nice, right? Right about now. Uh, I wish I could make some pancakes right now, but I don't really think I don't know if I have all the ingredients on hand to make some. Yeah, hi, I'm German and I know I'm savage. That explains a lot because considering that I'm half German, my family does the exact same thing, only they do it with a spoon. Mm. Wait, you've never tried peanut butter? Like, never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? No, I've never. I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about the idea of having, um, butter and jelly together on bread. Like, the combination just it's a very striking combination. It's really good. Okay, Harry, I'm going to have to ask you to kind of ease up a bit, otherwise my mods might get a bit, finger waggling. Bit too much, bit too much. You need to I know you've only just come around, but a bit too much. Kind of bring it back a bit. Crack the jar open like an egg and let the good Nutella fall straight into my. Eh. Goodness sake, Shy. It's one of my favorite sandwiches. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna knock it unless I try it myself because looks can be deceiving, and some combinations might sound crazy, but some of them actually do miraculously work. Or stick your finger down the Nutella jar. Gross! You don't stick your finger down the Nutella jar. Other people need the Nutella as well. Because when you do that, you're just basically you're basically claiming the Nutella jar. Pure and simple. So once you put your finger in it, that whole thing is yours. Hydrate, you got it. I'm gonna be next on this evening. So if you need to check, it's in my schedule. We have a restaurant nearby that served pizza with Nutella and M&Ms. Like, I'm sorry, but when it comes to like a chocolate pizza, is it really a pizza anymore? It's more like a dessert, if anything. I feel like it should need its own name. I'm following you, so it should get a notification. Yeah, so it should notify you. M&M is too much. Which kind of M&Ms are we speaking of here? Are we talking of the the original ones or the peanut ones? Because I'm sorry, but peanut M&Ms are superior to the original M&Ms. Crepes with Nutella is fine, but also M&M pizza Nutella M&Ms. Like, or pizza and no, not pizza. Like pancakes with Nutella and M&Ms. Oh, that would be a very crunchy combination. Me, when I say Dove, I just want to say something that cut mid-sentence. Hmm? Peanut M&Ms over anything. Hi, Tiffany. Hey, y'all. Good morning, good morning. So you like peanuts but haven't had peanut butter? Well, yeah. I imagine they would taste very similar. I'm assuming anyway. Let's see. Well, PTSD, mano, is back from the ton. Yeah, peanut butter doesn't taste like peanuts. Wait, it doesn't? It does or it doesn't? It does. Oh, okay. Hmm. I really don't like it when people just try to rip other people's worlds and then just try to make it as their own. Also makes it very difficult to find the original world creator as well. Especially if it's a world you're wanting to go back to. If there's one feature in the UI that I would like VRChat to actually put in is to let people know which worlds no longer exist anymore. So um just gray them out, essentially, just have them grayed out. So at least you know which world is missing or doesn't exist anymore or just something like that, because when they just say a world is made private or has been removed and you just start wondering for ages like which world was that? And it's only worse when you've got like hundreds of worlds as well, because then you won't even have a clue what you've forgotten. Let's see what's unpopular. Because I've been to probably over maybe 4,000 worlds in VRChat, and I haven't even scraped the surface of how many. I mean, granted, a lot of older worlds have been removed since then, but there's so much still to see. Well, just joined. I need to be reminded. I need to go again to a funeral agency. Well, see, I guess you can't just come in and just say that and just people gonna ask. But yeah, I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten my promise to Natalie. I will do the redeem, but only when they're here. My first stupid horror world still exists somehow. I remember when I met some of my earliest friends in VR chat, and the first thing they did was just drag me to almost every single VR chat horror map under the sun. And that was like back in 2022. I think. Was it 20? No, I think it was in 2021 or 20. No, I think it was in, no, I think it was actually in 2020. But yeah, it baffles me how there are some worlds out there that still exist, and I'm like, why are you still around? You've given me nothing but nightmares. I really don't like VR chat horror maps because they're just very cheap with their horror. It's just there's just jump scares and not really relying on like really good horror to scare you. Like the best kind of horror is making you feel like you should be afraid, but there's nothing really there, and your imagination is your essentially the thing that's screwing you over. Do they pull you through an art piece? I mean, I've had a few paintings done of me. Okay, as an apology, I'll give chat a gift. I need to update that. I need to update this avatar with the new hair at least. Alright, maid mode. Can't even, like, my skirt is so big I can't even see my face. Maid mode. That's the world's name. Oh. Let me see. Don't know if I've been to that one or not. Gosh, wait. It's from 2018. Oop. Sorry, I forgot I always forget I had the camera on flight mode when I'm like looking through the menu. I've done that before. There you go, chat. Gift to me, Devly Dove. Oh, goodness sake. It could be broken, haven't been there in a long while. It has been updated last in 2022. Tiffany, thank you so much for the streak. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Well, I did not sleep well last night. I had these nightmares where I was like playing hide and seek from other kids, and I can tell you it was not a fun time. And then I got woken up and like, you need to walk the dogs. Could you imagine if dogs just walked themselves and then just came back home? That's a cat. uh, yeah, but the problem is with cats, you never know if they're gonna come back or not. With dogs, they're very loyal, but with cats, it's like either you have pleased them or you haven't. Literally, my cats. Humans use dogs as a reason to go outside. They always come back. I mean, the the weird thing is, like, whenever I walk, like, if you were to walk on your own, nobody talks to you. But as soon as you're walking out with your dogs, people come up to you, and the dogs really start a conversation, which just goes to prove that humans like dogs more than humans. They're there, like, just remember, they're not there for you. They're there for the dogs only. Hmm. Dove's too pretty. People are intimidated speaking to Dove on their own. I don't know where you got this false piece of information. They start asking questions about your dog. Yeah, they start asking, what breed is it? How old is it? Is it, whenever they see a dog, they always assume it's a he and never a she at first. Always. And I'm like, never assume which gender the dog is. Ask. Like, every time they say, like, hey boy, you're like, it's a girl. You about balls. Like, hey, it's like he's got no balls on. It's like, I wonder if it's a girl. I used my eyes. Dogs are the best, but humans are debatable. Hmm. I mean, I've still had my drawbacks with my current dog. She's still young, but she still needs, to learn. But the funny thing is, both of my dogs are actually sisters. So my first dog was from the first litter, and then my second was from the second litter. So they both had the same mother, but just different groups. Because these are currently my second and my third dog. Because after losing our first dog a few years back, we didn't want our new dog to feel alone, so we managed to get her sister eventually, and rather really quickly as well, which was really amazing. Because depending on what breed you have, certain dogs are very expensive, and some dog breeders are very strict when it comes to letting you can't just purchase this stock. You literally have to do a lot of research and have certain experience with dogs already. So you have to, read up on the breed and everything. I just call the dog puppy and then ask if they're boy or girl. Mm-hmm. My cats are mum and daughter. Aww. I mean, he without balls is just being a reasonable dogger. Goodness sake, Tiffany. Put the hammer down. We don't need the hammer. Oh my gosh, why does this still exist? There are some worlds out there that like I don't know if I'm not going to show it, but there's this one world where you get confined to a chair. It's literally a torture. It's literally a torture world where there's like knives, hammers, syringes, and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, why does this still exist? My family had all our pets from animal shelters, but after our cat passed away, we went and get an animal. We got an animal from an animal dog shelter, and it went bad. So we decided to get a puppy from a reliable breeder after that. Mm. I hired Hammer. Hello, sexy dove, sexy chat. Hi, freaking tears. How do you know how do you know if we're sexy or not? We could be butt ugly. Your voice says, "Ma, I'm a mystery." No, you're just shy. I mean, we can see you. Can you? Everyone is sexy in their own way, but your laugh is the coolest. The funny thing is, I didn't even know I had that laugh because, back then I really haven't had a lot of opportunities to laugh in my life. And I think it was probably either Deli or Lolathon that really got me to laugh and just, break down. I think it was actually Okami where she did this weird burp when she was talking to Deli, and I just broke down on the floor and just, I was gone, essentially. Like it was so bad that my lungs started to hurt because I was laughing so much and I was actually crying. I was just lying on the floor in Dolly's studio. Speaking of studios, actually, let's see. I'm gonna go down memory lane. Let's see. I wonder if I favorited it or not. I have not. Okay. We shall travel. Shy mystery, only you know what I sound like. True. To be honest, I am the same with talking. I'm more of a quiet speaker. Yeah, I've always been very quiet and soft-spoken, and like I literally can't shout because I rarely ever do. So my voice just breaks whenever I try. I always felt this version of the gallery was a little bit darker. Oh gosh. Forget there's a video player in the back. Ma. Okay. Hmm. When I get laughing fit, I get into a breathing wheeze. Excuse me. Gosh, the bubbles. I'm gonna be burping a bit. So I do apologize. I did remain responsible dog owner, oopsie, but I will stand by my statement. I think the most broken I've probably personally seen you was Lola with the gem skeleton avatar. Oh my gosh, the snip snop. Yeah. I remember your laughter when you and Doe were climbing up the castle, and the ramen were joking about Doe. The laughter, especially charming. Yeah, and also that one little segment on the very same map as well, where um Lolafon jump scared Delia again, and then I broke down laughing again. The only time I shout is when I'm angry. Yeah, same, basically. And I don't like shouting. I don't like getting angry. Hi, Crawfords. Hello, hello. Do we need to get Demi to pat your back? No, I'm fine. I love I love it when Dolly, breaks down with the the ramen. But yeah, let's go down memory lane. So this was my first painting. So I met Deli around this time. So this was like, I think this was season 2 of his gallery. And it was basically a combination of a painting I did in VR chat and a watercolor painting he did years ago. And it was basically like a combination of the two. So this is when I was like a Yukon avatar. And we will be seeing a remastered or a remake of this version or an updated version. I love that even Lilith has no idea why Dolly is laughing. So out of everything, this is what gets. Yeah, true. So yeah, that was my. Oh, fun fact. This painting. Um. So Dolly. Back then, you could actually paint on the canvas with someone else, so you could basically see what was going on the canvas. And Dolly asked if I would like to paint with him. And I wasn't too sure at first because back then I was on the Rift S and I had this whole stick drift going on. And so even if I locked my body in place with locomotion, I still had the tracking issue with my hand. So it wasn't like a very steady hand and I was worried about ruining the painting. But I eventually changed my mind and said yes. And so yeah, these three little drawings, that's me. So that was my cheeky little hand. So yeah, that was in season 2. I wonder if that was in season. Was it season 3? No, I think it was in season 4. I think. Or no, I think it was no, I think it was 5. Yeah, 5. So there's Lala. So with this one, this was the second iteration of the painting. That Dolly did some issues arise, so they had to do a second try on that painting. But I really love how Dolly actually painted my hair. So this was my second avatar. This was when I was Lime, and you can probably see a little detail on around the neck on the collar. There is a tree of life silver necklace, which I specifically asked if I could have that in that painting, because Deli actually gifted me that necklace when I went to visit him in Norway. So I wanted something a little bit, you know, some a bit of something from Dali in that painting. Hi TNG. So yeah, it's still one of my favorites because I absolutely love how he's done my hair. And the funny thing is that this is almost like an accident. So you see these like gremlins or these like monsters just like crawling out with these like yellow eyes all over the place, and then you look down at Lola's painting, and then you get the same kind of like eyes in the shadows. So it's almost like Lola found just like unleashing these like nightmarish creatures on everyone, and I'm just basically caught in a crossfire. So it's almost like a very it's like a cool little addition. Like it wasn't even on purpose. The next one was actually I think it was probably my first commission from Saving Channel Points. And I wanted to do something very, very special. And this was around, I think it was around maybe December. And this is what I saved up for. So, I wanted something a little bit something warm and comforting, and I wanted something a little bit different that has not been done before, which was actually have the the eyes actually closed, because when it comes to like avatars, the soul center of the avatar is their eyes, because that's like their individuality, shining through. Like, you could have the same hair, you could have the same model, but a lot of the time, a lot of people's eyes are different from one another, and it's always a very high vocal point, because that's where you're going to focus on the painting, is mostly on the face. And I just wanted to break something from the norm, and me and Demi, we decided to go for something a little bit more comfy. Again, you see the necklace has made another reappearance again. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's very, very nice and comforting. And there is a little detail. It's probably very difficult to see because of the painting, but on my left hand is actually my engagement ring. So it hadn't been long by that point that when Demi actually gave me that ring, which I still do have on some of my older avatars as well. So yeah, I was really really happy with that one. The next one was kind of came out of nowhere, because where was it? Season 7, where, so yes, this is me as the Joker. So basically what happened was I was playing walkabout mini golf, and again I was not having a great time. And this was actually commissioned by this was commissioned by Ollie, which is this individual up here. So yeah, they commissioned this painting to have me as the Joker, who's basically lowering a Batman golf ball, or taking it away from the golf course. Because I broke down in laughter and tears, and I kind of went a bit crazy, and I guess that's where the inspiration came from. So this was a complete surprise to me. Like, I did not know that this painting was happening until I was told about it. So yeah, apparently I got an extra painting from that. The next one was I can't remember what it was about, but I think it was like a combination of things where you would get a word and then you would get a person. So you'd fill in error. Damn it, Tiffany. So yeah, this is supposed to be me in Monaco. I know it's very difficult to see that, but that is supposed to be Monaco in the background. Because I think it was one of the words that was chosen. I don't remember who did the word or not. So yeah, by this point, I still find like that is a very tiny glass of champagne, but I still like the gradient. So yeah, on this hand, I've finally got my wedding ring on by this point, and then there's a little White Witch cameo and a Demi Fox. So, and I think I got a Gucci bag as well, of all things, which is like really expensive apparently. I can't really see myself walking around with a Gucci bag, to be honest. And then we come to love the art. I love the art. I mean, in this version, it's updated compared to the current studio, so you obviously see a lot more paintings in this version. Yep, and then we come to my latest painting, which was an updated version of the very first one. And again, this one came out of nowhere, and I love how Dali has grown over the years, and you know how much like he's been doing this for so many years now, and he just keeps going from strength to strength, and it's kind of it almost feels like kind of like a history. I mean, it's definitely like Dali's history of like all the people he's met and over the years. Demi as an eagle, I still find that one crazy. Cyber jump. But yeah, some of these paintings are not up in the world. So I still find that rice painting is so good still. Really amazing. Still love this one as well, especially when you can get like the shadows of the leaves on the skin. That's like very difficult to do because when people do that, they sometimes worry about ruining, you know, the texture of the skin, but you know, from a distance, it really sells you that light is actually falling through the branches and everything. And this one was Gunblader, season 9 as well. And then we're already on, gosh, we're already on season 12. Like, that is insane. And I think we are probably due for another expansion soon because from all the paintings that we already got on season 12, there is still a lot of those paintings that have not been uploaded. So we're probably like all the way up to around here or so. So we've nearly run out of room in season 12, so we're probably gonna need season 13 and 14 very, very soon, I think. But you know, that's crazy to think that we're actually catching up to. I mean, when you look at it, it's like I can't remember on the top of my head how many paintings it is, but it is an incredible amount. I think it's well over 400, maybe close to 500. I can't remember, but it is a lot. And the fact that they have been consistently doing this for so many years, it's insane to me. Like around this time, I think it was like 2022, and then all the way down there to 26. So yeah, it's how I met a lot of my friends and how I met Dali. So I'm very thankful to them and you know to meet such amazing people as well. a lot of people that I never thought I would ever meet as well. Like, I remember when I went to Delhi's studio for the first time, and I just missed out on meeting Lolafon for the first time because he had left not long ago when I first joined the world, and I wasn't like angry or upset that I didn't get to meet him. I was more like mind boggled that, I was this close to actually meeting someone that I've, seen on YouTube when I used to watch uh like Nags and Matt Six and Ryan, watching their VR chat adventures during the early days of VR chat, and seeing Lolafon in the background and spooking them. So it was very surreal to think that I was that close to meeting someone from the original era of or the old era of VR chat in its inception. And to think Deli's influence on other streams, definitely, yeah. You're just as amazing, Dove. Oh, thank you. I mean, I tried to stand on my own 2 feet. Like, I'm not trying to like use people as stepping stones, because I was worried that that was going to be the case, because I was meeting so many wonderful people, and the opportunity in the door was open for me to be a part of those groups, and to be friends with them. And it's crazy to think, but they're always wonderful to hang out with, and I do enjoy what I do, and I'm glad I got to try
Please give me
streaming
Huggy
for myself.
Wuggies!
Like, it's been such a wild journey as well, but there's still lots to do as well. So we're nowhere near done. Not even remotely close. And now he scares the life out of you on a weekly basis. Thankfully, not on a weekly basis anymore, because I've been very busy with other streams, so I haven't been in VR chat as much, um, because I've been streaming a lot more. Um, and my headset was damaged by 3 things: sleeping in VR chat, getting scared by Darren, and getting scared by Love. Dove Train has no brakes. There is the crazy thing is this door does not work, and as well there is no door, there is no leak. Why would you have it inside the studio in the gallery? It's just a very weird spot to have a water drain. If anything, that leak is actually helping from getting the floor, completely flooded. It's still leaking. I know. Yeah, but it's been because I still remember when I actually met you in VR chat for the first time. That was quite a long time ago, wasn't it? And it's still crazy to me to think, there's still a lot of paintings that we have not seen. Snuggly VR, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Very much appreciated. And I was mute. Oh, I remember now. Yeah. Mm-mm. Hmm. I might have to sit down for a moment. 'Cause my feet are really starting to hurt. Ugh. But I'll try not to lay down because if I lay down, I'll just be out like a light. My cable was out of shell is broken in two places. Oh no. Thank you very much for the follow. I was gonna say your name, but I was worried about mispronouncing it because I'm not quite sure how to say it correctly. But the inside is fine somehow. Yeah, I've kind of like damaged the headset on the covers because I've got a Valve Index, so I got like the little covers um just on the arch like, and the little like covers are falling off, so they're basically being held together by bandages and elastic bands essentially. Same, have an index. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of disappointed by the new VR that was announced because I was kind of hoping for a evolution to the index itself. So I was kind of like having unrealistic expectations, I guess, where I was hoping for a headset that was wireless, had better tracking and had, facial tracking as well. Um, that was my hope, but apparently that's not what we're getting. But I'm still, you know, I'm still waiting to see how the new VR will fare because I know a few of my friends are also gonna get it when it comes out. So I'll just wait and see what people think because I've already invested so much into the base stations, the trackers, and the headset itself. So if it was just kind of counterintuitive that we can't use the current equipment that we have with the new headset coming out. So if I could, I'd probably just get a brand new index with new controllers because even these controllers are having I say that as I bonk my headset, doing great right now. Um, where you know on the Valve Index controllers, I have pressure plates, so when you squeeze on the controllers, it's over time is going to be fatigue. So the covers are kind of coming up a little bit. So at least, especially on the right hand, so it's thankfully still staying there. But and I actually had four base stations originally, but one of them died. So thankfully I still got three of them. Um, because I didn't really have a location to put my fourth base station, so there's always that conundrum. And I've my cable. I think I'm on my second cable at the moment, and it had some problems where one day I fired up VRChat and it had all these like pixelated lights happen, and I got worried that the cable was damaged and it was gone for good. So um I was actually gifted a brand new cable, um, which I still have in its box because apparently the cable was fine in the end, so it's still got some life in it left. But thanks to the generous gifted donation by someone, I still have a backup cable. So if this cable goes kaput, I've got another one just in case. But now I speak with Termy. I need to find out when I think it's gonna be Larank's birthday soon. I need to find out when her birthday is. Probably ask Termy maybe. Mm. I've changed a lot since got on VRChat first. No, yeah, I thought they might create an index with face tracking, but well, maybe one day. I mean, if they don't want to get left behind with the competition, it would be a no-brainer. If I needed to upgrade my VR stuff, it'd be T, but it's pure first version of the Vive trackers from 2018. I actually don't remember what version my trackers are. I think they were like version 2, I think. But yeah, tonight we're going to be continuing Signalis. So I still find it crazy that I only just got to chapter 2, and I think Deli already finished Signalis, and I was like,
Lizard.
no, no lizard. Either they had some really good luck, or I'm just being very, very slow. Probably the latter. Hi, Demi. We were just going through paintings and stuff. There's a Demi in the background right there. Hello, Demi cameo. Hydrate, you got it. Ugh. What would be your dream VR setup be if you could see after like 100 years of evolution? Have the ability to walk everywhere. I mean, if to be fair, if we had that kind of technology where you could just infinitely walk, like properly infinitely walk with like no attachments, like holding you down or something. You know for a fact that Fillion will just throw themselves like a rag doll. I mean, they already are, but a lot more so than ever before. The oldest one. Hmm. If I remember correctly, this was actually an MMD world, which sadly this one doesn't exist anymore. Oh, you mean the infinite treadmill? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Still can't believe that Sente. He looks even more. They look even more angrier back then. if that's even at all possible. I actually remember going to Gigi's DJing world. I think it was actually one of the very first DJs I actually saw, but haven't seen him since I was a Yukon. So that was a very long time ago. His Deli and all his daughters, and you can see I'm clearly missing from that. So that was before I stumbled onto the studio, so back when I used Maya as a bass. Mm-hmm. This before I even met Deli, this was the first painting I ever saw, which was of my friend Omega. So this motherfucker right here, this is the person responsible for dragging me to all those horror maps back in the day when I first met them. Uh, Dove, I went to the gym this morning and hopped on the treadmill, and people started giving me funny looks though, so I decided I better jog instead. I'm trying to process that one. I wonder if future tech could simulate all five senses in VR. If it could, then that could be a problem. Here's another old one of you. It's actually not marked, this one. Unless it's in a very weird spot. Oh, yeah, this one's not marked, so I don't remember who this was on the right. Oh, okay. I mean, are they still in VR chat? There's Okami. I think this was the first painting with Lilith one as well. Even back then, spiders. Don't know. I still like this one. I love the colors and the colors are just so vibrant and so it really makes you want to go have a swim in a coral reef. I really do like the colors in that one. And there's Lord Demian trapped. Makes me want to get a stand-up jet ski back in the water more than I already do. I would love to do like a jet ski, but I would like to try that at least once. I think this was your latest one. Probably one of my favorite for obvious reasons. There's you again. Surprised we haven't got an emote of Deli being a princess. I mean, I guess we'll have to make do with cutout. Hi, expert. I've said again, my feet are hurting. Accurate depiction of Deli and Chimp. The older style stand-ups are a blast, though you don't ride them for very long. I would imagine it would be pretty, exhausting to ride them for long periods of time, considering the way it's, bouncing on the water. Because, it's not always a good idea to sit completely on them. Like, you want to, I guess, have a bit of space. So, as it's, it's like with a bike or something, you want to not hurt yourself. So you want to move with the jet ski, not, have it move against you. It's like surfing the entire time. Mm. So yeah, in terms of like new outfits, I'm probably considering getting a new bunny suit for this month and a new swimsuit as well. Of course, that one won't be a redeem, but having to stay balanced on those things takes a lot of ton of legs and core and grip strength to hold onto the handlebars. Mm. Especially depending on what kind of, I mean, preferably you would want calmer waters to ride a jet ski. Um, and always travel in pairs because it's always good to have somebody close by and some in case something were to go wrong. During moments like this, does anyone else just get the urge to point at the screen and go, "Look at that cutie, so cute," or just me? Just you, Shy. No one is doing this. No one is pointing at their screens and doing this. Cute, cute, cute. Sounds exhausting anyway. Mm. No, yeah, I do it too, because I do it in VR too. Mm. There was one time where I was actually watching a stream whilst I was in VR chat. So I remember I couldn't be in the world, but I was still watching the stream through a video player whilst being in VR chat. Hydrate, damn it, Baines! You're certainly living up to your name. I'm just gonna crawl. Mm, my feet are burning. Also, I went to the bakery and I got myself some four. I got 4 items this morning. So I got myself some chocopan. I got myself some bread. Chocopan, which is basically a Japanese milk bread. And I also got a poppy seed pastry and 2 chocolate chip cookies. I always do that just with the overlay. Oh, poppy seed is good and good stuff. It's really nice. And it's all glazed as well. I do appreciate that the poppy seed pastry doesn't have any filling on the inside, because you know that's not how poppy seed pastry should be. It should be just plain. But yeah, it is very good. Hmm. So yeah, for tonight we're doing Signalis. Don't know. I could like I was asking if there's going to be a stream on Saturday evening, and it's kind of on the fence at the moment. But if it doesn't happen, we could either do GTA 4 on Saturday evening, or even Sunday, or even both, depending if I've got the energy and strength. But preferably a Sunday, I'd imagine, just so we can get that redeems, up and running. And then we're probably getting relatively close to finishing Lunaset, so I would imagine maybe 1 or 2 uh streams, maybe. And then we got Metro last night, which we're slowly getting closer and closer to the end, so maybe that's like 1 or 2 streams away from finishing, and then we can move on to Exodus as well. Usually see it with a lemon glaze. It does have like I don't remember what glaze it has, but it does have a glaze on it, and it actually has lemon skin, like like little lemon drizzle on top. So it could be actually lemon glaze, but it's really 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 nice. I'll probably send you a picture at some point of what it looks like. Zest, yes, zest. Thank you. 2 or 3 depending on things. I'd say 3 is a reasonable amount, but I would preferably like to get it done in 2. But considering just how many enemy types there are and how many biomes we still yet to go into, and other secret areas as well, so it could be 3. At least you don't play Project Zomboid. I tried Project Zomboid, but I just couldn't get into it. it also didn't help that when I was being introduced to playing Project Zomboid, my friends were like saying, "Oh yeah, if you want to play with us, you have to download all these mods before you can actually play." And it's just exhausting whenever you get recommended to play a game with your friends, and the first thing you have to do is download all those mods. I'm museum made dove. Look, even museums need cleaning too. I mean, this gallery isn't gonna clean itself, you know? Gotta keep it up in tip-top shape. That's not a good idea first time, then modded. But it's a sad truth sometimes where friends, want you to play a game they're very passionate about, and then it's just mod central. The leaks keep putting water around. Yep. I mean, if it wasn't for the leak, this would that would be a funny April Fools where the entire floor of the gallery is just flooded, and then there's just this one broken piece of leak just floating in the water by the tap. That would be kind of funny. I think it's what I hate about my friends. Stop games. Everyone insists that you buy it, you play it once or twice, and then everyone moves on to the new friend sub game and want you to buy that next. Yeah, like I remember when the first like Destiny came out, and me and my friends were really excited because we had a good time with Halo, and we thought Bungie was going to do very well with this one. But when we were playing it, we realized we were just doing more and more of the same. It was just going back and forth, just killing the same things over and over again, and it was starting to lose its appeal. And until the dungeon, missions came around, then, that's like the only time where I was like somewhat remotely interested. But then when Destiny 2 came around, I had literally no interest in getting it at all. But two of my friends insisted that I, get it. So I decided to get it for 50% off because I was not buying it at full price. Um, and it's weird to think that I actually got to play the first version of Destiny 2 because that no longer exists anymore. So you can't even play the original Destiny 2 when it first came out because it's completely gone. Like I don't know how I feel about certain games where, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say you played the original campaign of Halo 3, and as the years went by, they completely removed the entire campaign and put a new campaign instead. Like, that's what it felt like for Destiny 2, and probably for a lot of people who have only now picked it up. I mean, I just can't play those games anymore. I was never really interested. It was more like being there for my friends rather than being there for the experience. Then you have to buy all the DLCs to play with them. Yeah, which is why I absolutely love that there are more games coming out where the only one when it's just only one person that has all the DLC, and then people can just play with them. Like, I do prefer those, that design. Um, that's kind of what live service games is. I know, but I Like, live service is just a big, annoyance for me. I mean, I kind of guess like Arc Raiders is like Arc Raiders is kind of like a live service game. I think. Would you? I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, I would count it as a live service. Um, but I'm trying to, stay away from these live service games more and more and more because those experiences only last so long before they're eventually all gone. To be fair, I barely or never join people anymore at the moment. I just play on my own if it's not VR chat. I mean, a lot of uh people have been documenting that gamers are basically going back to older titles that they grew up with, or because those games were actually finished products, and with competent mechanics, storytelling, just just solid experiences. Whereas now these days they're selling on the brand alone, and they're selling on the message, if anything, and on profits rather than giving the best that the industry can give, because they can do so much with what they have, but they continue to miss the mark again and again and again, especially with, like, let's say Ubisoft. And when things don't go the way they want, they just blame the customers, which is very, very bad. This is why I support the indie side of gaming, because a lot of those experiences cater towards what I want to see. And don't get me wrong, I still like a good AAA experience, but those are definitely far few and far in between these days. Stop Killing Games movement is around for a reason. Exactly. And it's also why I support GOG as well, because say what you will about Steam, but Steam is more focused on the games of today rather than the games of the past, which is why a lot of those games don't work as well on Steam. Like, I remember just a few days ago, the Warhammer 40k actually had a Steam sale come out recently of all of these older titles, but a lot of them are probably not going to be able to run properly, because they weren't properly handled or you know optimized, whereas GOG does focus on that. So for newer games, Steam; for older titles, GOG, essentially. I can easily install my old Command and Conquer Red Alert 2 or 3 on my other PC if not Porsche Unleashed. Oh, Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. Yeah. Or like if you got like I've still got a lot of the old CDs and everything, but the problem is I just don't have anything to play them on anymore. How much always plays in my mind. I always wonder, what the guy was yelling in the Hell March, because even the composer doesn't even know what he was, shouting, which is very interesting. I mean, there's always been, theories as to what the officer was shouting in the Hell March, but I still don't think people know to this day. There's a new Stalkerlight single player game, Road to Woodstock. I've seen some footage on that game. It's kind of like the if you want the experience from Escape from Tarkov, but just more of a single player experience. So that way you only have to worry about the worry about PvE. I always keep my old CDs. I have a second PC, which was my first. Do need to downgrade from Windows 10 to Vista. Oh gosh, I remember Vista. I don't enjoy that that time. Which Screaming of the How Much? The beginning? Yeah. Because, some people thought it was maybe German, some people thought it was Russian. Um, I think it was Russian, but it sounds a bit distorted, so it's not quite clear what is, shouting. But the fact that Frank, the composer, doesn't know what was being shouted. Yeah, he used that sound by it is kind of funny, but adds to the mystery as well. I don't know if we'll ever see a red alert 4 or not, but would be kind of cool to see. But then again, the Command and Conquer series doesn't exist anymore unless it's on your phone or something. So I mean, EA has no interest in reviving a franchise or treating it with any modicum of respect, which is, a shame. But, don't feel bad of what we can't have anymore. Feel, be glad of what we do have. I mean, we still have a very, very large library of Command and Conquer games, and, the remaster to the first game was a really good success with the fans as well. And, you know, we do have a new inspired game coming out soon, or it's literally just finished its Kickstarter, which got funded in under 24 hours. So I'm really looking forward to that title when it eventually does come out, because it's also like building what came before, but also improving on it, basically modernizing older RTS games for the present. So I'm really looking forward to Dolph when it comes out. So if you ever loved the Command and Conquer series like Red Alert 2 or Tiberian Sun, this one could be up your alley. After 5, we do not need to see them butcher it any further. But yeah, Dungeon Keeper, my baby, what did they do to you? I still remember that. Because I think I think there's 3 in total. I can't remember. I could be wrong. Um, but I remember the first 2 were good, but then when it came to, I think it was like 3. I could be wrong. That was put on the iPhone and the tablet, and it was just an abomination of what it was. It's weird. I had Tiberian Sun on CD, but I never played it back then because I think I asked for a different Command and Conquer game, but it wasn't the one I wanted. Either that or the CD didn't work. I don't remember. It sounds like German, but people will say it ain't German. I mean, it sounds badass, but you know, I mean the person who probably shouted it probably doesn't is probably not even alive anymore, for all I know. Mm. If it comes out, always be cautious with Kickstarter as well. I've supported 4 Kickstarters in total, and they've all been funded, and well not well they've all been funded. Um, 3 of them I'm waiting to come out, yeah, because they need to go into production. But my first Kickstarter I ever supported was uh Ruby, which was there was a board game that came out for it. Um, so I still have that on the top of my shelf. So I still have all the Kickstarter packs with the pledges and everything. So I've the my current 3 Kickstarter supports have been video games, um, Ahoy, Project Mix, and Dwarf. So they've all been funded and they're all currently in production, and they're always keeping constant updates with their games through videos, through screenshots, uh, and building upon what they had before, because a lot of them already had something built, and you obviously want to have that with a Kickstarter so you can prove that you actually you're serious and you want proper funding. And they just keep on building from strength to strength. So I only support a Kickstarter if it's safe. I mean, it's always a gamble, but I never support a Kickstarter if it's just going to be pure on concept alone and there's nothing else backing it up. Like, I want to see concrete work before supporting anything at all. Do you guys not have phones? Every CEO and Greedy Dev. Yeah. Like, I don't know what that guy at Blizzard was thinking when he said that, but Blizzard is not Blizzard anymore, which is a shame because back then I thought, Blizzard was going to be one of the very few developers that we could still root for, you know? But apparently that was not the case. I play Tiberian Sun just fine. All you gotta do is locate the community patch. Mm. For some, it sounds as Die Waffen legt an. I mean, that does sound quite close if you extend Die Waffen. Um, Gosh, now I need to lie down now. Ugh. Actually, I might as well just, use the bench over here. I try to use furniture as much as possible in VR chat. Just to give it some purpose, because whenever you see tables or chairs, a lot of the time people don't use them. I mean, to be fair, the guy on stage didn't make the dumb decisions, he just had the job. Yeah, it's always the messenger that always gets, the short end of the stick. It actually sounds like that. I can't say it sounds like anything else. I mean, Lake Ein does sound pretty close. I'm not sure about Die Waffen. Because it sounds more like he's saying something with a H at the beginning. Or I could be paraphrasing because I'm, not currently, listening to it, but I'm sure someone will debunk it at some point. Like, what the hell would you do if you were told your job is to try and sell a mobile port of a beloved IP? I would beg them not to send me on stage because you're essentially addressing a hardcore PC audience, and the last thing they want to hear is, by the way, the next game that you've been waiting years for is going to be on your phone. Like, that's not what people want, because for a lot of them the phone is just there to contact and stay connected with others. When it comes to games, that's either going to be on console or PC. Because they're not going to spend time on their phones playing video games when they could be spending time playing on the PC. There's a reason why phone games and PC games are separated. I'm kind of glad that in some areas, video games on phones are still quite popular, especially in China. But I'm kind of glad that a lot of people are trying to steer mostly away from games on phones these days, because people are just not interested in them at all. Perfectly in position for joining death like one of the French girls. Wow. She is an afraid French maid outfit uniform. Qu'est-ce que c'est les Français? Ça va? Don't forget to draw the league. Damn it. Joseph Betts, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. How cool. Mama. No hablo French. I didn't like. I did take French for a few years, but I wasn't really good at it. I was definitely better with German because, having grown up watching German TV, and when you think about it, the Saxons and everything, and the evolution of the German language and the English language and how they compare, they sound very similar. Like when you got English, you got house, and German house. There's a lot of similarities with those two languages, whereas French, it's just completely the opposite. The only stupid part of German is the writing style. Yeah, it can be very confusing. Not to mention, it's very specific as well. My Spanish is better than my French, but that's not saying a lot. I mean, a lot of people loved Spanish in school. English is Germanic in origin. True, very true. But don't tell the British that; they'll get upset, even though it's the truth. Like grammatically correct way to write. I mean, English does come from the Germanic family language tree, so it makes sense. Mm. That's more reason to tell the British. It's like with like there's a lot of German blood in the royal family, but they weren't too fond about taking, a German surname, so they just took the House of Windsor instead. Where did Latin originate? Um, that is a good question. I mean, a lot of people in the Roman Empire spoke Latin, but where its true origin lies, I'm not quite sure. My girls are so barky barky. Better check on them in a moment, make sure they're, you know, not misbehaving. Let's see. This looks interesting. So, Shockrill is playing a new game that I'm not quite familiar with. They're currently playing a game called Windrose. German names weren't popular during the wars. Looking at looking at you, German shepherds. Yeah, it's mostly because of the war that they had to change it because at the time Germany was very very unpopular. So it was basically a way of the royal family trying to distance their German lineage essentially. Okay. Dum bum bum. There we go. So yeah, don't forget tonight. It's in my schedule. We're gonna be continuing Signals, so hope to see you guys there. Don't feel don't feel guilty if you can't because it is a Friday as well, so a lot of people are gonna be drinking in VR chat and hanging out with friends as well. So, but if I see you there, be more than welcome to see you. Funny thing is, English royal family comes from the Norman invaders, French William the Conqueror's family. Goes back to the Norwegian Viking called Rollo the Walker. So in a sense, they are French Norwegian. True, very very true. But if it wasn't for Rollo, the Vikings would have just been raiders. But he kind of wanted to settle down and actually build something, and he did. And then his descendants, William, eventually conquered the throne, and then we started speaking French for a good while. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.